So why am I telling you guys that I have a high belief that XRP could potentially jump down to 24 cents or maybe even lower? One of those,
we're best collaborating with them up front. And then of course, payments, right? We also have someone on our team dedicated to seeing where XRP for payments can be of use and working with different merchants as well as consumers, platforms and apps to see where there could be a good opportunity for us.
alrighty, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another CYPRX video breakdown. In today's video, we're going to be covering some XRP fundamentals, XRP technical analysis, giving you guys some price predictions, and we're also going to go over some gold technical analysis as well as some gold fundamentals. If you all enjoy video breakdowns like this, make sure that you smash that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel. It's going to be a little bit of a longer video breakdown and try and keep it short for you all, jam-packed with lots of information and some things to consider. None of this is financial advice. Again, just throwing some questions around for you all, getting the brain juices flowing. Make sure that you all are doing your own research and make sure that you all are studying technical analysis properly to generate your own bias about the market. So I want to start off here with this Joker of an individual. Okay. Now, I think that it's hilarious that these individuals that have everything negative to say about specific projects, and it's not just them attacking XRP. And you guys know that I'm not an XRP maxi. I do in-depth research on multiple utility-driven assets across the board. However, XRP is one of the cryptocurrency assets that I focus my attention on because I hold it and I have been a holder of it since 2016. Now, this individual right here, constantly posting negative things about XRP. He went on to say, never forget, we've told you all the truth since the beginning. And he posted this screenshot where he says, Ripple sells XRP, Ripple pays another company to become a partner, Ripple pays the new partner to tell everyone it's using Ripple. XRP goes up because he's talking about XRP here, but then this little screenshot right here says Ripple pays the new partner to tell everyone it's using Ripple. XRP goes up on the news as investors pile into the coin. Now, I've shown you in specific video breakdowns how news fundamentals have nothing to do with XRP's price action, let alone all the retail individuals out there think that it does. If you haven't seen those video breakdowns, go back and check those out. Again, XRP in correlation with the DXY divergence and strength. I've shown you guys again in previous video breakdowns how that's the case. Maybe I'll do another one in the future. So I said underneath of this, again, calling these individuals out, they never come forward with official documentation. I think it's the most hilarious part about this FUD. I said, please show official documented proof that Ripple has paid a customer to say it's using XRP. I guarantee you that you cannot find an official documentation that provides this speculation. I'm not talking about some BS you today fundamental. No, real hardcore documented evidence that this is taking place, right? And then this individual goes on to say that he responded, that I just can't read. No, he never responded. So I went on to say the truth is that you didn't respond, and the truth is you have no official documentation. If you're going to FUD something in this space, again, I'm only specifically focusing on XRP, but this goes for any project across the board. If somebody's going to FUD it, they need to come out with actual evidence, okay? It's not hard to pull up some official documents off the internet. It's 2023, ladies and gentlemen, come on now. Which again, this individual, Sir Clown Sniper, has failed to provide to support their claims, okay? Again, opinions in this market can be devastating if you're paying attention to people's opinions, right? Pay attention to official documentation. So he goes on to reply with this David Schwartz tweet right here where it says, at least in my view, Ripple was created to distribute XRP as broadly as possible and with the luck and if necessary, be able to generate enough revenue from sales or things like sales of XRP to sustain its operations. This is what he posted, Sir Clown Sniper, in support of his claim that Ripple pays new partners to tell everyone it's using Ripple and XRP, right? And I went on to shut his whole entire operation down by saying, are you mental? Literally asking him a serious question because this has nothing and no evidential proof backing his claim. I'm laughing at you seriously. We should hop on a live video chat. Again, I always offer these individuals the ability to, come on to a platform with no discrimination where they can, again, speculate freely but provide official documentation. I would love anybody that is an XRP naysayer or a crypto project naysayer in general that has official documentation to support their claims, the opportunity to come on the CYPRX platform and give that official documentation and presentation to everybody, right? Now it says, in David's tweet, there is no evidence to suggest that Ripple pays companies to say they are using XRP. In fact, Ripple has been transparent about the companies that are using XRP and has shared this information publicly.
So you've got a blockchain service for banks, and you also own a whole bunch of the stuff called XRP. Can you break it down a little bit about how that works?
I think that's a good starting summary. Yeah, at its core, I usually describe Ripple as an enterprise software company selling solutions to financial institutions, banks, payment providers. Part of that technology is a blockchain-based solution. We use a digital asset called XRP to facilitate liquidity. We have a series of products we sell into that market, and we've been fortunate. I think we've focused very clearly on one vertical, payments, and particularly cross-border payments. I think from that focus, we have been able to generate a lot of traction. We have over 100 banks that we're working with around the world, and we're excited about how it's going.
Ripple's primary goal is to provide a decentralized and efficient system for cross-border payments. XRP is used as a digital asset to facilitate these payments and can be purchased. Ripple has also worked to promote the adoption of XRP by financial institutions and other companies, but this does not involve paying companies to falsely claim they are using XRP. And I said to him even here, I am an XRP skeptic. Part of me does believe that eventually something drastic is going to happen in this market, and I'm going to go over that in just 1 second. I think personally they are going to lose the lawsuit, Ripple in particular. I think it's all part of the plan. I think that XRP is going to be deemed a currency. However, Ripple in particular is going to lose part of the lawsuit, which I've already explained to you guys in the past that I think that that's all part of the scam to drop the price of XRP temporarily so that way banking institutions can buy, blah, 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 blah. You guys know my opinion on it. If you follow me on Twitter, you may agree with me, you may not, whatever the case may be. I am not an XRP maxi, but sir, you seriously sound ignorant when you post things like this that you cannot back with physical proof. And I just wanted to display this to you all, that these fudsters on Twitter, do not let them manipulate your minds. Do your personal research. And this stupid little tiny screenshot like this should not be manipulating your bias or your opinions. Do research. Individuals like this that post things cannot back up their claims with solid, sound research. Moving on. This I thought was hilarious. People still believe XRP is a security. The court deemed, again, this is the South Korean court, deemed Terra Luna a non-security under Korea's Capital Market Act. So just real fast to read some interesting highlights from this before we go over the technical analysis aspect of this video breakdown. It goes on to say the latest ruling is more notable because it states categorically that Luna is not a security. The latest court ruling makes the Terra Luna saga a case of fraud and breach of trust rather than a violation of capital markets. The judgment by the Korean District Court is in contrast to the stance of the United States Securities and Exchange Commission, which has charged Terraform Labs and its founder, Do Kwon, with the violation of securities laws. I think that it's so interesting how there's all of this regulatory uncertainty where some countries are saying that things are securities and some countries aren't, which is going to lead me over to a claim that I've made in the past and a supporting fundamental right here from April 24th, 2023. In my opinion, there is going to be a catalyst in the future that changes this number. Remember, I told you guys in the previous video breakdown when I talked about the DXY strength in correlation with XRP price action, right? I told you guys, stop paying attention. Well, don't stop, but also pay attention to these numbers up here. These are going to be historical screenshots in the future. There's now, I think last time I made a video breakdown on this, there was 23,500 cryptos, okay? Now there's 23,631 freaking cryptos. Last time I made a video, there was 611 exchanges. Now there's 619 exchanges. These numbers, in my personal opinion, are going to drastically change over the next 2 to 3 years, which back to this fundamental, I'm not going to read through it, but the headline reads, froth and regulatory landmines could crush altcoin markets. Now, I don't think it's going to crush the entire altcoin market because I think that in the future, we are going to see a utility-driven bull run. And all these illicit market participants are going to start getting weeded out of the market due to regulatory guidelines becoming stricter and stricter. And in my personal opinion, the regulatory environment that's going to be created in this market space over the next couple of years, right, is what's going to drive these numbers down a lot lower. Now, I don't have some crystal magic ball to determine what these numbers are going to be in the future, but in my personal opinion, I don't think that by 2030, there's going to be 23,631 cryptocurrency assets operating efficiently and effectively in this market. That's just my personal opinion, okay? Moving on. Now let's go over to the aspect of technical analysis. I gave you guys an update. I believe this is from April 17th, if I'm not mistaken. Dang, that's really small on the computer. All right, where I told you guys that XRP was most likely going to depreciate down into 44 cents if we failed to break above the 53-cent psychological level. Now, I gave you guys an update on that, all right? Bullish targets remain. A firm break of 53 cents with a bullish hold above, and we will expect to see a push into 65 cents as target 1 for intraday trades, followed by 72 cents for target 2. And I'll go over this technical analysis in a second. But the question that I had surrounding this technical analysis is the bearish thesis that I gave, which is, however, the downside. If 44 cents breaks with bears in control, we will be looking at 38 cents as our first bearish target. And beyond the bearish break of 38 cents, we will continue to consider a drop into the demand area of 24 cents. Keep in mind, this is what I'm going to go over today. XRP remains to be one of the altcoins that never made a move to liquidate its June lows. Now, let me give you guys a couple of supporting arguments as to why I still firmly believe that 24 cents is in the card. Now, I'm not saying that it's going to happen now. I'm not predicting when this is going to potentially happen. I have buy limits. And again, this is my personal opinion. You need to generate your own bias around 24 cents just in case it happens. If it doesn't, great. Then we go on a bull run from these current price levels. And if not, and we do end up depreciating down to 24 cents or lower, I am well prepared with capital on the side in order to inject money into the market at discounted levels. That is my personal bias. I've even told you guys that I do not buy XRP, mainly because I've been an investor since 2016, unless price is below 32 cents. So of course, I'm personally waiting for this to happen because I would love to grab more XRP bags, right? With that being said, let's go over this technical analysis before we move on to gold. And I have a very interesting spiel about gold. Even if you're not a gold stacker, it still has something to do with the macro environment that is going to affect the cryptocurrency markets, in my personal opinion, alongside the DXY strength. So stick around for that. So why am I telling you guys that I have a high belief that XRP could potentially jump down to 24 cents or maybe even lower? One of those claims, one of the reasons, is because almost every single altcoin, including Bitcoin, okay, liquidated its June lows. Specifically looking at the June lows here, you guys can see down at the bottom of my charts, this is down around the area where the market bottomed out in June. And XRP since then has failed to liquidate the June lows. However, if we take a look at cryptocurrency assets that are similar, specifically like XLM, for example, you guys can see the June lows were down here in this area, and XLM went on to liquidate those June lows and since then has appreciated in value. Same thing with another example, HBAR being one of those. Okay, you guys can see down here in this area, the June lows, price action moved lower, and since then appreciated in value after liquidating those June lows. Now, same thing, if we head over to Bitcoin, you guys can see, same thing, June lows on Bitcoin were liquidated, and Bitcoin went on a tear all the way up, surpassing $30,000. Now, something that I want you guys, actually, you know what, I'll stick that for another technical analysis video breakdown just to kind of save time on this specific video breakdown, my personal opinion on what the market's going to look like when we do officially enter into like a guaranteed, okay, now the charts are screaming, we're in a bull market, right? I'll go over that in another video breakdown, but let's go back to another thesis as to why I think 24 cents is on the cards for XRP. Let's go ahead, and I want to take your attention up to the monthly time frame, okay? Let's zoom out on the charts, all right? And I want you guys to pay attention to this 24 cent psychological level. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to extend this level out, okay? And you guys can clearly see, let's go ahead and minimize this so you guys can see the full charts, all right? Number one, on the monthly time frame right now, we are failing to break above. Now, I am not an indicator-based trader, okay? But right now we are failing to break above this monthly triple moving average crossover that we've just experienced on the monthly time frame. That's number one. Now, if you don't understand moving averages and things of that nature, I'm not going to sit down and give you a full breakdown on that right now. Again, I'm not an indicator-based trader. I'm just using that as a potential confluence as to why I think this could push lower. Now, second to the moving average here, you guys can see that every single time institutional interest, and I say institutions, whoever the whales are in this market, the big buyers, they bought at 24 cents in the past. You guys can see we consolidated around 24 cents. Again, this white line is that 24-cent mark. Okay, you guys can see 24 cents was a nice area of interest for the banking institutions to accumulate orders at, and then boom, right? That massive all-time high push up into $3 and so on, right? And then here you guys can see again consolidation around that psychological level. This is back during the SEC lawsuit, right? SEC lawsuit came into fruition back in December 2020. And then boom, they retested that 24-cent psychological level and had a massive injection of capital into the market at around 24 cents. Now, my personal opinion, again, taking into consideration, if you're still here, what did I just go over? XRP is one of the altcoins that has not liquidated its June lows, where if we're looking at this from the monthly time frame to back my technical analysis, I have a firm belief that these eventually, I'm not saying when or when it could potentially take place, these June lows are going to get liquidated, and these banking institutions are going to attempt, and I say banking institutions lightly, whoever is in control of this market, whether it's banking institutions, institutional buyers, whales, hedge funds, like whatever you want to call them, okay? You guys can see that in the past, again, indicated by these yellow circles, exactly when the crypto market bottomed out, 2017, 2020, it bottomed out around 24 cents. XRP, again, is one of the only altcoins that has yet to liquidate its June lows. Well, liquidating its June lows would cause a nice push down into these lows here, maybe potentially revisiting that 24-cent psychological level, and then us seeing a massive appreciation in price. That would be nice to see. Maybe even at the same time, some type of SEC versus Ripple settlement or conclusion, right? So yeah, just take that into consideration. Again, I'm not saying that this is guaranteed. More so, this is on the higher time frame as well, on the monthly. So we have to be patient for this to potentially play out. In case this happens, I have buy limit set at 24 cents and beyond. Okay. Anyways, so that is my XRP spiel. You guys know my intraday targets. I've updated you all on those targets specifically on Twitter. We see an intraday potentially high of 65 cents coming into place if we do break above that 53-cent threshold. I will give you guys current updates on that on my Twitter page as weeks go by. If you don't follow me on Twitter, make sure that you do so. Moving on. All right, let's talk about gold. Something that I tweeted out on gold in a very interesting perspective that I want you all to take into consideration. This is from Robert Kiyosaki. He tweeted this out on April 23rd, 2023. And I'm not agreeing with him, but I want to show you all in the form of technical analysis something that could potentially be backing this claim right here. And he says, gold is set to crash. Steve Van Murder, who I don't know who that individual is, whom I respect, predicts gold to crash to $1,000. That would be phenomenal. I would buy a lot of gold if that did happen personally. You guys need to do your own personal research. He states markets are tired. This is why I'm breaking this down for you guys. He states markets are tired of waiting for gold to go higher. If gold drops to $1,000, I will buy more. Again, I'm in cahoots with Robert Kiyosaki on that one. Okay. Now, let me show you guys the gold charts real fast and something I want you all to take into consideration. So this individual, I guess, whom Robert Kiyosaki trusts, okay, is saying that gold's going to drop all the way down to about 1,000. Dang, that's even lower than that. Holy crap. $1,000 an ounce. That would be insane considering where gold is at now. But looking at gold, okay, let's just talk about this for a second. All right. Let's look at the times that gold revisited the general area of $2,000 per ounce. Now, obviously, of course, we've seen back in 2020, we saw gold rally to about $2,075. In 2022, we saw gold rally to about $2,061 per ounce. And then just recently, we saw gold rally back to about $2,050 per ounce, right? So something I want you all to keep in mind, okay? This rally on gold was due to what? COVID-19, the lockdowns, right? Everything, all the fear, uncertainty, and doubt surrounding COVID-19, okay? This rally on gold, look at the time that it started, okay? All the way back in what? 2021 was due to what? The war in Ukraine, right? Russia invading Ukraine, okay? Now, this rally on gold at the end of 2022, beginning of 2023, was caused and due to what? The bank runs, the banking failure, the bank crisis, right? All the fear, uncertainty, and doubt surrounding the banking failures, right? So I want you all to take something into consideration. COVID did not have enough momentum to break this major psychological level on gold, sending price all the way up past, let's just say $2,075 per ounce, okay? The war in Ukraine, the invasion of Russia in Ukraine, did not have enough fear, uncertainty, and doubt to send gold soaring to new crazy all-time highs like all these individuals are predicting, okay? $3,000 an ounce, $5,000 an ounce, which I'm not ruling out as a possibility. Again, leading up to the question that I'm about to ask you all, if you're still here, smash that thumbs up button if you're taking some of these things into consideration. Check this out. The banking crisis did not have enough fear, uncertainty, and doubt for investors' demand to drive gold price higher. So if gold price is going to break this psychological threshold, and I just generally put it at this area, okay, we know that the all-time high on gold roughly coming in at about $2,075 an ounce, give or take, okay? What is going to be the catalyst? You have to ask yourself the question, if COVID wasn't big enough, if the war in Ukraine wasn't big enough, and the banking failure wasn't big enough to break this psychological threshold, what is going to be the freaking black swan event? Okay, because there has to be one to drive this market higher on gold. What's going to be the catalyst? That means one of two things. Either this tweet is correct to an extent. Now, maybe we see $1,000, or maybe we just see a generic pullback on gold, okay, right? But if this tweet is incorrect and gold does go higher, what is going to be the catalyst? Do you guys understand what I'm saying to you all? What is going to be the catalyst that's going to drive gold price higher? If COVID wasn't big enough to do it, if the war in Ukraine wasn't big enough to do it, and freaking the banking crisis wasn't big enough to do it, right? What is going to be the catalyst that's going to send gold price higher? That is scary to think about in a sense. I'm not trying to pump fear, uncertainty, and doubt into the market right now by saying this to you all, but really take that into consideration. Right now, we are seeing gold potentially pull back, okay? We're seeing gold fail to be able to create new highs above this interesting psychological level that, again, COVID did not have enough momentum to break. The war in Ukraine did not have enough momentum to break. And the banking crisis, as of right now, has not had enough momentum to break it. So is gold, right, at a major turning point right now where it's going to start to depreciate in value? Or are we going to see another major catalyst enter into the market space, right? Major black swan fundamentals that are going to cause and drive investor demand for gold to take it higher. That's the question. And what is going to be that freaking catalyst? Do you all understand? If COVID wasn't big enough, if the war in Ukraine wasn't big enough, and if the banking crisis wasn't big enough, it's really interesting to kind of forecast what's going to be the major catalyst if this is going to happen that's going to drive price higher on gold. So again, just take those things into consideration. Now, obviously, of course, one of those things could be a potential Federal Reserve pivot, okay? Maybe potential liquidity crisis in the market, something, okay, in my personal opinion, in order for this type of price action to happen on gold, $2,500 an ounce, $3,000 an ounce. What major catalyst has to be the thing that drives that demand for gold? Okay, take that into consideration surrounding that. Okay, and then especially surrounding Robert Kiyosaki's tweet. Now, I personally don't think $1,000 per ounce is going to happen. Maybe we'll see. That would be very interesting. Like I said, if gold did depreciate in value all the way down to $1,000 an ounce, I would 110% buy more. Okay, that would be insane to see. Now, I'll take your attention, last but not least, over to these last two fundamentals. This is very interesting. It says gold prices set to soar as the U.S. deficit widens. This came out April 21st, 2023 from Kitco News, and it reads, the gold market, while supporting above $2,000 an ounce, is struggling to build enough momentum to break new all-time highs, okay? You guys see how that article starts. In support of the thesis that I just gave you all, right? COVID wasn't big enough. War in Ukraine wasn't big enough. Banking failure wasn't big enough to surpass these major psychological level turning points on gold. And look at this article. It literally starts off by saying gold is struggling to build enough momentum to break new all-time highs. However, one market strategist says that it's only a matter of time before it hits this target as the U.S. deficit continues to grow. Jess Felder, founder of the Felder Report, has been a longtime gold bull and warned investors in late February that the technical indicators showed gold on the cusp of breaking out to all-time highs. In his latest update, he reiterated his bullish stance, highlighting fundamental support for higher prices. Felder comments come as gold prices continue to consolidate around $2,000 an ounce. Obviously, of course, that has changed hands. Gold is now operating under $2,000 an ounce. But he goes on to say, Felder said that he expects gold prices to be driven to new all-time highs as the U.S. deficit continues to grow. He explained that data from the U.S. Treasury Department showed that in the first half of the fiscal year, which ended in March, the federal deficit hit $1.1 trillion, up by $432 billion compared to the same period in the previous fiscal year. He added that a big reason for the increase in spending was in part due to the rapid rise in interest costs. Longer term, there is a clear widening trend that began back in 2015 that appears to now have resumed after some pandemic-inspired gyrations. And if history is any guide, this deteriorating fiscal trend should represent a structurally bearish influence for the dollar in months and years to come. So remember, I said to you guys, in correlation with the cryptocurrency markets, what do we need to see on the dollar in specific video breakdowns that I've gone over in the past in order to see a rise in risk on assets across the board, a depreciation in the DXY. We need to break that psychological level of the 102, the historical psych level on the DXY, okay? So if you all enjoyed this perspective of technical analysis, make sure that you smash that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel. Make sure also that you're following us on Twitter to stay updated on our technical analysis perspective on XRP, giving you guys actual logical targets in the market, right, on the lower time frames, the 4-hour and below. If anybody's interested in learning how we commit to our technical analysis here at CYPRX, that link for the mentorship program to learn our strategies in the link in the description down below. As always, many blessings to you all. Make sure that you're doing your own research and generating your own biases in the market. Nothing that I'm constituting here is financial advice. I'm just giving you guys logical explanations as to why the market could potentially do something or why it could potentially not do something. As always, be cognizant, be aware out there, and I will see you guys in the next video breakdown.